Thank you. Welcome to the January 26, 2026 Board of Aldermen meeting. I now call this meeting to order, and before we rise to a pledge of allegiance, I want to recognize, I believe Patrick Stein is here today. I believe you're soon to be an Eagle Scout. Tonight, you're working on your communication merit badge, is that correct? In Troop 323, welcome. And we start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. We all stand, and I would like you to help start us on that, if you would, Patrick.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that's quite an accomplishment to become an Eagle Scout. It takes a lot of work, probably a fair amount of parents' work too. So congrats on that. Well done. Well done. I would ask the city clerk to call roll for attendance.
Alderman Friedman. Here. Alderman Gerber.
Here.
Alderman Harder.
Here.
Alderman Hughes. Here. Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Sawyer.
Here.
And Alderman Schwer.
Here.
Mayor Remus is presiding, and we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we get to approving the minutes, just a few comments. One is that the police appreciation dinner and for retired workers from here on Saturday night was at Longview was very nice, and it's again not a surprise or secret. We surely have a wonderful police force led by a wonderful chief. We really do. So that was a great evening. I also like to. I kind of like living in Missouri because we have 4 seasons, and I'm sort of done with winter. But our folks did a great job. Obviously we contract out for some of the snow removal. We have our own folks who do this internally, and they have done a yeoman job, and as they always do. So I want to give a shout out to those folks too. And then finally, Jim Haven, who was an alderman here for many years and also served on planning and zoning for a long time. Obviously had a long life because he was 98 when he passed. But I did not know Mr. Haven, and his passing was pointed out to me by Fred Malin Smith, who also been an alderman, also on B&Z, also been very involved in helping take care of the city. And in a minute, I'm going to ask him to come up and say a few words about Mr. Haven, but I also wanted to thank former mayors Dalton and Manch for being here tonight also, and for that reason. And I think Alderman Walby and Pons, if I'm correct, thank you also for being here. So, Mr. Malin Smith, the podium is yours, and I thank you for coming to do this tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a privilege, and I very much appreciate your invitation to speak tonight. Good evening to the members of the board. I know Jim Haven very well and treasure my interactions with him. Jim was a resident of Town and Country for 57 years, and he died just 2 weeks ago at the age of 98. He was an accomplished professional, a devoted public servant, and a consummate gentleman. I would submit that if you went to Webster's Dictionary to look up the definition of gentleman, you would find Jim's picture there. Regardless of the subject and regardless of the surrounding circumstances, Jim was also always thoughtful and very patient and very genuine in his comfortable, down-home style. I'd like to introduce a couple of people who've joined me tonight. And first and foremost is Jim's daughter, Joy Howery, and her husband, Harry, and their daughter, Elise. I spent some time with Harry and Joy just recently, and Jim was a consummate gentleman and a real asset to the city. And we were fortunate to have a dad of that caliber. I said he was an accomplished professional, so allow me to dimensionalize that by citing just a few of the highlights of his resume. Jim graduated from Washington University with a degree in industrial engineering and later earned his MBA from that institution. He served in the U.S. Army and had deployments in Japan and China. Following active duty, he served for 15 years in the reserves and retired with an honorable discharge as major in the U.S. Army, specializing in artillery. Following his active service, he spent 40 years at Union Electric. During those 40 years, he held executive positions including manager of industrial development, secretary and treasurer, vice president of regional operations, vice president of transmission and distribution, vice president of engineering and construction, and vice president of research and development. You might begin to wonder if Jim had trouble holding down the job during those 40 years. I stated that he was a devoted public servant. So let me dimensionalize that. During his life, he was president and director of the St. Louis County Industrial Development Authority for 4 years, president of the Missouri Junior Chamber of Commerce, chairman and vice chairman of the Board of Missouri Chamber of Commerce, member of the St. Louis County Economic Council. He was also a director and chairman of the Northwest District of the St. Louis Area Council of Boy Scouts of America, part of your organization. You might recognize this because I too am an Eagle Scout. But beyond his professional accomplishment, let's focus in on what Jim did in service to this city. He was a member of the Board of Adjustment for 6 years, ending in 1999, excuse me. Board of Aldermen for 6 years, ending in 2005. And during his 6 years as an alderman, he served on the Parks and Trails Commission. He served on the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Parks and Trails Commission, as well as Conservation and Historic Preservation. He was named Citizen of the Year in 2004 by the Town and Country and Frontenac Chamber of Commerce. And he was recognized by proclamation by Mayor Dalton in April of 2005. But I think it's important, and most notably, to say that it's accurate to cite that Longview Park is there today because of Jim Haven. His insight to conceptualize that park, his courage to withstand the pushback from claims that it was irresponsible spending on the part of the city's resources, and his steadfast resolve to deliver on what is today the crown jewel of public space in our community. That's clear testimony to the legacy that Jim has left for us to enjoy and to treasure. His commitment to open green space is legendary. And I think it's significant that, Mayor, as you recognize, we have two former mayors here tonight, Mayor Mange and Mayor Dalton, both of whom had the privilege of knowing Jim and working with him. I humbly say that in my mind, Jim was a giant. He was a gracious giant, a man of resolve, and a champion for this city. The people that joined me tonight had the pleasure of serving with him And I speak for all of us when I say, thanks, Jim, for all that you did for this city. Mayor, thank you for the privilege.
Very nice.
Very well spoken. I couldn't help but think when you talked about pushback about irresponsible spending for Longview, that Mayor Dalton and Manch probably got some of that over Town Square. Since when I was elected, I got pushed back and it was already a fait accompli. Anyway, thank you very much, and you should be very proud of your dad, as I know you are.
May I just say, my brother is also here.
Welcome.
His son, Grant Haven, and Susan and John with him.
Thank you very much.
He loved town and country.
That's obvious, for sure, that's for sure. Well, I think we should get on to verifying the minutes from the January 12th, 2026 regular meeting. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Next, the minutes from the January 20th, 2026 special work session. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye. Carries unanimously. Ashley, I assume no one filled out a speaker card?
No, sir.
Thank you. We have no public hearings, no appointments. At this point, I would recognize the board's opportunity to provide report. Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
The next meeting of the Architecture Review Board is scheduled for Monday, February the 2nd at 5:30 p.m. The following items will be discussed. A new single-family home at 12304 Wildlife Trail near Deer Hollow subdivision. A new single-family home at 13112 Thornhill. An addition at 1974 Carlin Drive. An addition at 555 South Mason Road. A 10,448 square foot addition at Margaritaville. And an amendment to the public notice requirements for the Architecture Review Board applications. As I always say, all are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alderman Schwer.
On the 20th, we had our first public works meeting. I want to discuss some sidewalks, stormwater, and facilities. I also want to thank Alderman Murphy, Sawyer, and Gerber for joining me there. It was well attended. Bob was there. Tim Randick, Mr. Ray was there. So I appreciate everybody being there for my first meeting. I want to second or piggyback off the mayor's remarks and talk about Tim Randick and Town 1000. They did a great job clearing the streets, same with T Hill. So I wish they can take over more MoDOT streets and county streets. We'd probably be better off, but we can't do that. So that's it.
Thank you. Alderman Kinsella.
Thank you, Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Commission met on January 21st and reviewed the following three items. An amended site development plan for Marita Villa. A public hearing was not held as that amendment was not considered significant. The commission recommended 7-1 to approve the plan. There was second item was a boundary adjustment plat, adjusting the property line between 1285 and 1297 Dry Ridge Road. The commission recommended 8-0 to approve the adjustment. The first two items I've mentioned will have a first reading at the Board of Aldermen meeting on February 9th. And then a third item, a conditional use permit for a street-facing rooftop solar array at 12545 Amersham Court. The commission recommended a 7-1 approval for this permit. It will have a public hearing and a first reading by the Board of Aldermen at our Monday, February 23rd meeting. And all are welcome to attend that.
Thank you very much. Alderman Harder.
Our January 20th PFE meeting was canceled. We didn't have a quorum. However, we went ahead with the awards, which we scheduled that evening. So I'd like to mention, because they have family members attending. So on that evening, the chief gave out life-saving awards to officers Edison, Basor, and Dorton. And chief's awards of excellence were given to Officer Jones, Sergeant Sapienza, and Yakub. And we did reschedule and just had our meeting earlier this evening, for the PFE, and we had 3 action items. One was request to purchase a radar trailer. Second was purchasing vehicles for this year, all on budgeted items, and a request to purchase artificial intelligence software. All of those were approved unanimously, and we're going to see all of those on February 9th at our meeting. Seats are nearly full for the spring session of the Citizens Police Academy, and we are participating in the Polar Plunge to support Special Olympics. We always have a very strong turnout at Creve Coeur Lake on February 28th. Hopefully the weather's better than out now. Now, if anybody wants to attend the Citizens Police Academy, there's a few slots left. They need to contact Katie Sirietti, our chief, or Laurie, or Ashley, and we can get you signed up. And if you'd like to sponsor on the Polar Plunge, just go to the website. I think there's a spot there you can sponsor our team. And then finally, at the annual Winter Employee Appreciation Dinner last Saturday, Officer Josh Hamill was awarded Employee of the Year. And I'd like to ask the chief just to come up and say just a few words as to what that award is actually means.
Thank you, sir, and board. I just wanted to give a little bit of clarity on this award, and then it differs from our other awards. Most of our other awards are originated through a supervisor for a specific act that an officer did, and it's vetted through the command staff and the awards given. This award differs because it starts from the bottom up. Officers vote at large for the person that they want to be Employee of the Year. Then they narrow that down to 3, and the supervisors out of those 3 make the choice of the person best fitting of that award for Employee of the Year. And so to be chosen by your peers for an award, I think there's no higher honor. I just wanted to provide some context to the significance of that award. Congratulations to Officer Hamill, and they couldn't have chosen a better person. Thank you.
Alderman Sawyer, before I get to you, just 2 quick things. One, I didn't see you sneak in. Lynn Wright, she's also a former alderman, and I wanted to thank you for coming here also. And secondly, I believe at least one of those officers who got the life-saving award actually pulled someone out of a car that was actively on fire, if that's correct.
So actually, that last quarter, that was given out already. We
Okay.
did that earlier. That was Officer Hamill, and he received the highest honor we could give, the Medal of Valor.
Yeah, that's what it was then. It's quite a remarkable thing to run to a fire. Alderman Sawyer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ways and Means Commission meeting that was originally scheduled for this Wednesday, January 28th, has been postponed and rescheduled for March 25th at 8:30 a.m. here at the Municipal Center. The Ways and Means Commission meetings are always open to the public. They're held here in the community room, and everyone is welcome to attend.
Thank you. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Chairman. Always good to see the emeritus council over there, the former mayors and all that. Skip Mange, who helped me start my whole career serving town and country. Always great to see you as well, sir. Parks and Trails Commission report. We do have a meeting planned for February 2nd. The agenda is now posted online. We'll be recapping 2025 activities and discussing 2026 programs, including an update and a review of the whole sidewalk issues as well. So as always, people are welcome to attend, and again, the agenda is posted online.
Thank you. Sheldon.
Just briefly, Mayor, in addition to Tim and Tom, who do a fantastic job, work all weekend plowing the streets, I want to recognize Jim Schoenberg and Dan Coppin with our Parks Department, who also come out and shovel the walks and plow the parking lots. So brave in the cold, and we appreciate everything that all of them do.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to unfinished business. Next is bill number 26-01, sponsored by Alderman Friedman and Gerber. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2601 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a driveway gate located at 1377 South Mason Road in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. I would ask Mr. Ryan to the podium to provide a brief background.
Yes, Mayor. So just following up from the last meeting, and again, this is for an installation of a driveway gate. This CUP application was required after it was discovered that a fence permit was issued with the gate that hadn't been properly reviewed. Staff has worked with the applicant diligently to go through the process, the board adjustments, because it is 26 feet and not 30 feet from the property line. And Planning and Zoning Commission and now this board, there's been no opposition or public comments on this item.
Thank you. Any discussion? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
And Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4729.
Thank you. Next, bill number 26-02, sponsored by Alderman Hughes and Schwer. Without objection, will the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2602 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with T Hill Construction for the Westmore Place Stormwater Project and authorizing a reimbursement agreement with conditions between the City of Town and Country and the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Any discussion? Alderman Harder.
Okay, I have a question, and it may be an accounting question, I don't know. So the bid was, ended up $47,342 under the proposed budget. And then with our reimbursement from MSD, how fast do they reimburse?
Well.
Construction.
Yeah, that,
Same year? or-
I would anticipate within the calendar year in our fiscal year, which are the same, that we should receive reimbursement.
So then that would end up a total of $162,438 below budget on that item.
Correct.
Okay.
Believe me, they will reimburse promptly because, like I said many times, they're a very religious organization. Anything that goes wrong is an act of God and not their fault.
Just curious.
Alderman Schwer.
If it's not too late, I was told this is Ward 2. Can we change this to Alderman Friedman and Alderman Gilbert, sponsored by them?
That's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to take credit for something that
Yeah.
it's not my ward. Sorry.
Thank you.
Probably since it was public works project.
Any further discussion? Alderman Kinsella.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a quick question about the involvement of MSD on this particular project. Obviously, they're going to spend $115,000 to do this work. Would they have been doing this work anyway, or was this particular project something that inspired them to fix something because we were already into it?
I believe this project inspired them to do something. Todd, would you agree? Yeah.
Okay, so they wouldn't ordinarily have tackled this, it just, we're disturbing the
We're
peace.
doing it as part of our project, they're gonna reimburse us for it.
Okay, and how many residents are involved or would be impacted by this particular stormwater project?
I'd say roughly 2 or 3. It's not a large number of residents. Yeah, it was originally, and it was $1 million project. We were able to reduce the scope and reduce the cost. So those most impacted.
Okay, very good, thank you.
I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Hi,
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4730.
Thank you. Next, bill number 26-03, sponsored by the board as a whole, without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2603 is an ordinance authorizing an engineering services agreement with Horner and Schifrin Inc. for engineering services related to the Boat Road resurfacing and pedestrian improvements project.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Alderman Harder.
another possible accounting issue. First of all, I noticed it was $4.20 under the budget,
All right.
which is rather astute budgeting. But I want to know, is this part, that $244,995, is that part of the 65% reimbursed project?
Correct.
Okay, so really our cost is $85,750.
If
Roughly,
you say so.
if you trust my math.
I didn't do that.
Okay, and how good is the reimbursement on MoDOT?
So this will be, Todd, what's your experience with
It's
reimbursement?
usually monthly.
Oh,
You
okay.
submit reimbursement monthly, and they reimburse.
So as we do this, we get the money.
Yes.
That's great.
Correct.
Okay.
I'd ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
And Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
The vote passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4731.
Thank you. Under new business, we just have one item, resolution number R02-2026. A resolution authorizing the application for a transportation alternatives block grant for the Conway Road pedestrian improvement project. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? Alderman Murphy.
Yeah, obviously, this is something near and dear to a lot of folks in the Ward 4 area, speaking for Alderman Sawyer and myself. A special note of appreciation out to that community for participating. My understanding is we had 23 letters from households and 5 letters from organizations around the area in support of this. So that kind of endorsement and communication as part of the grant process will help it, I believe. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I do not have any other items to bring up, but I will open it to the aldermen. If they have any other issues that is not on the agenda they wish to discuss. Hearing none, I seek a motion and second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your attention and time.